Alright, so goblet squats are a pretty basic or supplementary exercise depending upon how you want to use them, but what a lot of people find is as they get up heavier in weights, that it's much harder to get the dumbbell in the position, whether that be with your leg, on a bench. It's just awkward to get it up. So when you start getting up into heavier weights, 80s, 90s, 100s, if you go that high, what you can do is simply unrack the dumbbell with one or two hands, set it on the crease of your hip, high up into your hip, and then if you have stable enough balance, what you can do is simply take yourself into hip flexion to get the dumbbell up. Similarly, to get it back down, you take your knee back up and then pick up the dumbbell. It's very reminiscent of a dumbbell press using a bench. Dumbbells are high into your hip. You bring both your legs up at the same time, rock back to get them up to your chest. Now when you start getting into heavier weights, this is a 125. What I've been experimenting with is after you pick it up, bringing your foot up onto something solid so that you don't have to actually rely upon the hip flexor to hold this static position, especially with the heavier weights, because even if you get it up to here, if you have to squat down to get it off your leg and then stand back up, it's kind of difficult to stand up and get knee extension and hip extension with 125 pounds on just one leg. Some people can do it, but it's just not the easiest. So what I found is, with these heavier ones, get it up into the hip, and then put your foot on something solid, and you can get yourself underneath it, and allow most of your weight to be on the plant leg in order to get into position. Then when you're done, put the foot back up, slowly lower the dumbbell, back to the floor. So, dumbbell goblet squats are a really solid choice for accessory work or learning the squat pattern, or you can load it in, say, a lunge pattern and just use the goblet position, split squat, whatever you want to use. But as long as you're progressing in weight, you're going to reach a point where getting it into position is the toughest part, not actually holding it there. So, quick and dirty, use your hip initially. Once that becomes too tough, put yourself in a stable position in order to get the weight in place. Thanks for listening. Give it a shot.